on Syrko. I'm working on a presentation called Here Now, Gone Forever, Tango's Story. Different faces, different places. My story starts back in 1998. I met somebody at a tire store, and I had moved into the town. My grandma had passed away, and I got her house, and the lady was checking out, and I looked at her check, and she had a picture of a horse on it, and I said, what do you do? She says, well, I ride horses, and I work. And I said, she goes, what are you doing after work? I says, not much. She goes, you want to go ride a horse? It's like I never rode a horse before. It's been years. I've been around them, but this is, 98, 99. So we go over to her, to the barn, and saddle up the horse, and I rode my first horse named Rowdy. And I said, well, this is pretty cool. She goes, you need to go to the lesson barn and learn how to saddle the horse. The horse is not a magic horse. It's not going to saddle itself. So I started taking some lessons, and I bought my first horse. His name was Skip a Bar Dude. I got him in March of 99, and I didn't know what a gaming horse was. It was a gaming horse. I didn't know what a gaming horse was. A gaming horse is a horse you run barrels and do patterns. I just wanted a trail ride. Well, I thought I could ride a horse after racing motocross for many years. So I got on this horse, and we were out on the trail, and he wanted to go back to the barn, and he reared up once, and everybody said, stay on, Ron. He reared up again a second time, stay on, Ron. He reared up the third time. I said, Ron, jump off. So we went out on another trail ride later on in the day, and we were riding up a hill, and he wanted to run through the rest of the horses, and I was trying to hold him back. And I ended up running into the back of the horses, and I got kicked in the shin, and I have 18 stitches on my second trail ride out. And I says, I raised my hand, I says, I got to go back to the barn. I drove myself to the hospital, got stitches, came back to the barn. The people that at the boarding barn, it says, Ron, you're getting a different horse. We don't like the horse the owner sold you. We're going to make sure he takes it back. You need to find another horse. So a couple months went by, I looked in the newspaper. They didn't give me my money back, but they said they'd find me another horse. So there was a tax sale at the boarding barn I was at on May 2nd, 1999. And they said there was a horse there. His name's Tango, and I got him on the screen over here, and I'll show you that in a minute. And I said, well, I need to get a vet check. I need to check his feet, make sure he's going to be okay. They says, you don't have time for that. This horse can get sold. This is a horse for you. You have a natural ability. I could see that. This horse will fit you. I says, okay. So we went out and met the horse. The very first time I met the horse, I was like, this is a small horse. He's only this high, 14.3 ends. And I didn't know much about horses. And so they said, you need to go to the local tack store. You need to get a bridle, a bit. I didn't know what equine was. I didn't know what equestrian was. I didn't know what a curb strap was. So I got them all saddled up. They said, you need to go get a curb strap. So I went and got a curb strap at the local tack store. I put it on and went out for a trail ride. We probably made it a quarter mile out, and he started spinning around kicking at everybody. And I'm like, I can't. He was getting barn sour. He wanted to go back. I didn't know anything about horses. I'm just trying to stay on and ride this horse. The guy that sold me the first horse was riding with me. He says, look, you stick with it. You got a good seat. I see that. This is going to be a good horse. You just got to get used to him. He's got to get used to you. So I went to the equine fair in Columbus, Ohio, and I got to see Clint Anderson and all the other trainers. And Clint says become part of the herd or something similar to that. So while I was out there, I got to meet Ginger Catherines from Cloud. And I got to see all of her wild horse videos and all of her wild horse pictures. And we talked about becoming part of the herd. So when I went back to Pennsylvania, back to the boarding barn where I had Tango at, I went out and put a lawn chair out in the field. Because he's one of those horses you couldn't catch. I sat out in that field for almost 4 hours. He came up to me. And after that day, he clicked. I didn't have to go chase that horse. That horse came up to me all the time. So that's pretty much how I met Tango. So I started recording all my adventures on VHS tape. I wasn't there for not even a year, and we got to notice the barn's closing. Middle of winter, we got to move the horses to a new barn. So I grabbed my VHS camcorder, and I recorded Tango's story of us riding with all of our friends, riding in the snow. And the very last day when we were loading up and leaving, it was a little sad day. Everybody was coming up to the horse trailer, said we're going to miss them. It was like a family. We were losing our family. It was like boarding barn, friends and everything. So he went to his new barn. In this video, you'll see him briefly, at the new barn. Then we started all over again. And that barn started getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And now all the horses are gone at that barn. So I ended up buying my own place And I started keeping track of all the places I boarded at. Even when I moved here to the Carolinas, places here now, gone forever. It means they were there now, they're gone forever. You'll see them in the video. So that's pretty much the basics how I got started on this project. So I have 25 years of material of Tango's life, my life, and I'm trying to condense it all into a film documentary to help bring awareness to land conservation, about saving our trails, losing the places we can ride, multi-use trails, which we don't want. We would like just to have horse trails, mixing of horses and bikes. I don't want to see mixing of horses and bikes because, you know, you have one bike come down a hill. It's not going to be the bike's fault. They said train your horse to the bikes. My horse is trained to the bike, but it only takes one accident to change somebody's life forever, and I don't want to see that happen. So I want to bring awareness to we're losing boarding barns, we're losing our trails, and I even did a little segment on the beach ride. We can only ride on the beach in the wintertime. We're losing places we can ride. We're losing trails. Housing plans are coming in everywhere. Barns are getting closed. It'll be almost similar to this place here. I'm seeing people are getting older. They sell it. Developer comes in. It's gone. So I want to bring awareness to that, hopefully with land conservation. Maybe ELCR can help. Grants can help from the horse councils. We can start probably getting some of this land, keeping it horse related. Thank you. And then I'm going to start my presentation.
Hey, it's October 7th, 2018. Tango and I are out here at Kings Mountain State Park in South Carolina. We're out here trail riding, getting ready for the American Heart Association Beach Ride 2018. I hope it's cool this year. If not, Tango and I might have to only limit it to 10 miles because I'm not going to take this old horse 20 miles. But we're out here riding today, getting back in shape, and he's just so thrilled, aren't you? He's my buddy. We've been riding in the saddle together 19 years, 6 months. We're getting ready to celebrate 20 years together in the saddle, May 2nd, 2019. I got him May 2nd of 1999. So our 20th year's coming up, and we're looking forward to doing a little documentary. It's about Tango and I and our story of how housing plans are taking over a lot of the farms. We're losing the farmers, and we're losing our trails. So here we are, we're riding in this beautiful park, part of the land conservation project. And Tango's been riding in this park since 2005, so this is his 13th year here. And he knows all the trails, and he'll even tell you when it's time to go back home too. So this is Mr. Tango. He's getting a little gray under the hood here, but very good horse. You couldn't ask for a better horse. Basically, the bottom line is the housing plans taking over everywhere that we've pretty much been. And I could go back to Pennsylvania or some of the places around here that I boarded at, and you will see a lot of destruction. Our trails are gone. You go out to Latta Plantation in Huntersville, you'll ride one of the trails that just ends in a housing plan. And it's hard to see. And another thing I'm starting to see in the horse industry is our farmers. We have no FFA, Future Farmers of America. It's harder to get hay. You don't have the backyard farmer. All of our farmers are getting older. Our equipment's getting older, or their equipment's getting older, and it's getting harder to find hay. Plus, the environment's changing dramatically. I mean, here we are in October, and it's 95 degrees, and it's hard on the horses, very hard on the horses, especially not being able to grow grass that much. So he has turned out 24/7. I do bring him in during storms or ice storms and that, but I think a horse is healthy in a natural environment where they can get out, if they can get in the woods, get some shade, get some salt. Yes, they are supplemented with feed. So I think that's pretty much all I have, as far as Tango's story. Hopefully I helped fill in some of the blanks.
We've been everywhere the last 20 years, and there's a time you got to retire a horse, and he's done his job. It's been a long ride. Wait, buddy, what do you think? Retirement? Well, there you go. That's my story, here now, gone forever. Different faces. People here, different places. I'm going to try to tell my story. Hey, one person can make a big difference. One person can make a difference. And if we can keep the horse road alive, keep an extra farm, a place people can visit, place people could pet horses, a place kids could ride horses. I think we need to preserve that as much as possible. And what people don't realize, when you have farms like this and you got woods and trees, the afternoon, these trees help keep everything cool. The afternoon, they evaporate moisture. It makes afternoon thunderstorms. It makes it rain. It keeps the ground moist. You take all the trees away, there's no moisture to make thunderstorms, everything starts drying out. So I know a lot of people don't do the climate change thing. Hey, I just telling you the facts, what I see. You know, we're seeing flooding. You know, a lot of runoff from all the blacktop pavement. You know, we're seeing massive rainstorms. We're seeing wildfires. Look out west. You can't hide it. It's mankind is changing the earth. And if we could preserve a little bit, like these state parks or a place like this, and land conservation, that's all I can say. And horses is a good way to do it. You bring volunteers together. You bring people together. So hopefully my story can help somebody, help change somebody's life, and help make future places. Thank you.